Okay, we are recording. All right, so do we need to review anything? Were you pretty comfortable from our last
I think
talk?
I'm okay.
Think you're okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, this time we're not going to be in product management. We're going to be in supply chain execution.
Okay.
And go down to inventory management. Okay, this is where the work gets done. This is where you have your items with quantities and stuff like that. So, if you recall those part numbers that you created yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to put some of them in stock, and we're
Okay.
just going to magically poof them into stock. Normally, you would purchase them through purchase requisition, but we're going to skip that part for right now. So, if you go to create miscellaneous transaction, and let's see, hang on. Where are you
No,
typing
wait.
in?
This is the regular organization.
Okay, remember what I said? The item organization doesn't hold quantities. So what organization did you enable those items in? Was
Was
it,
wasn't it the number?
it's a number, but that number is associated with a city.
It's 3 zeros.
3 zeros is not associated with the city. That's the item organization. The item organization is there just to validate your items. It does nothing.
I don't remember what we put down the number for the city.
All right, we'll hit cancel and let's go find out. So go back to your home for navigation. And let's go back to product management. And query up one of your items and let's see what orgs we've associated them with.
How come there's a yellow bar now?
I don't know. It says refresh needed, but I'm not sure why. I don't run this pod. So you hitting tab thinking it's just going to search for you.
I press search.
You did?
Yes.
I didn't see your cursor go over and hit search.
I press search with my keyboard.
How do you press search with your keyboard?
Enter?
No, that's not search.
That's search for every other thing on a computer.
Not in Oracle. Not in Oracle.
I press search
All
and
right,
press it
well,
again.
okay, so that item's not there. Go look for another item. See, it may have refreshed. We may have to build some new items.
I think it's gone.
It could be. I mean, it says refresh needed up there. It's a good indication that it might be. Yeah. See, every month it just blows away everything that you've done.
Okay.
All right. So we got to go well, do you want to just work with items that are already there?
Is there any items in here since they've
Oh,
refreshed it?
yeah. I mean, they refresh it with a database that has a bunch of data.
Okay, but I gotta know what to type in to find an item.
Do you? Remember I showed you this nice little trick where if you didn't know an item, you could go and hunt one down?
I know, but how can you hunt it down if you don't have any numbers or letters or anything?
No, think about it. Look at that. There you go. You gonna go find that tomato soup?
Well, if it's been erased, it's not going to be there.
No, that stuff is always going to be there. It's the stuff that you make that'll go away.
Oh, I didn't know they had anything permanent in it.
Yeah, when they refresh it, they have to put the data back in it, or people have to build the data all over again. That takes too long.
Let's just use this one.
You like that one?
Yes.
Okay, copy that part number. And I'll tell you a little trick a lot of consultants do. They keep a notepad up so that they can drop uh, things like part numbers, PO numbers, um, account numbers, things like that. So when they're working on something, if they they say, okay, this is something I want to keep so I can find later. It's a good idea to just kind of keep a notepad up and drop that data in there so that once if you lose something out of your clipboard, you can go back and find it. I see that a lot. I don't use it so much, but it has been handy at times.
I do that anyways with any job.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is a pretty good looking item. Meat, egg, sausage, pancake. Yeah, I like that. All right, so save that part number.
I did, but when we go back over there, it was asking where a completely different number.
Was it?
Yeah, because I typed in mine, I typed in AS 8080 and it,
They couldn't find it because your number got blown away.
well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we completely switched over to this thing.
Go ahead, show me what you're talking about.
We went to, was it inventory management?
Yeah.
And then we came over here, create miscellaneous transaction, and then organization.
Mm-hmm. We don't know what organizations that item is in yet, do we?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me show you another trick here. If you go up to hover over the home and right click, and can you open that link in another tab? Why won't it let you do that?
Because this dialog box is
Oh,
open.
probably. So open that link in a new tab. All right. So now you've got two tabs open. And this is kind of handy because in one tab, we're going to go look up and see what organizations that item's associated in. And in the other tab, we're going to put some quantities in stock. All right. So in one tab, you're going to go to product management and you're going to look up that item again.
That's what I wanted to find while I was there.
You gotta learn this stuff.
But that's why I was saying it because I didn't want to have to go back and forth because I was already on the page.
Okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, you're in browse.
Where's this? Oh my Lord.
If you're looking for an item, you need to find a prompt that says item. I don't know what you've done. You messed it
I
up.
went, oh my God. The browse items. That's where I went and then it disappeared.
Well, yeah, because you didn't pick you didn't pick a catalog. And it's not
I
going to,
can't,
you can't find the default catalog, can you? Do
I
this.
literally
All
did
right,
not touch anything.
stop. Okay. up at the very top where it says browse items on the left, hit the X. Okay, that gets rid of browse items. Now come back into browse items again and don't get so click happy.
I like clicked and it just disappeared on its own.
Well, okay, but okay, I know this and you don't know this. I'm trying to teach you this. Stop. Don't do that.
But I'm going to the catalog we're supposed to go to.
Okay, you can do it that way if that's how you want to find it. I was just going to say, since you have the item in your clipboard,
I can
you
search it
could,
right here.
no, you can search it where it says item.
Over here?
Yeah, remember? You did that last night. You seem to understand it.
So this search bar only searches for catalogs.
Yes, you're getting it.
Oh my lord.
Okay, now how do you do the search from there? There you go. Perfect.
I know how to do that. It's just the way they set it up is
I know you got to learn it. It's just like learning Photoshop. Photoshop
no.
has some quirks to it too. Oh, trust me, it does. All right, so there's your item. We need to find the organizations that it's associated with. Do you remember the tab that shows the organizations it's associated with?
Was it specifications or structures or associations?
There you go. Okay, that's not associated with any other organizations. So instead of looking up another item, let's just make an association.
Okay.
How do you do that?
You wanna manage items?
No,
Oh, wait,
you can
we have
do
to
it
go to the
here.
guy's picture, right?
No. Um,
Oh,
uh,
it's a hot
you,
mess.
okay, let's go back to browse items because you can do it from browse items. You could also do it from manage items. And again, this is where I tell you, Oracle shows you 9 different ways to do things. You got to decide which one you like best. Okay, open the item. All right, you're at associations. Now we want to create another row where we can add another organization. So what would you click to add another row? Yeah, okay. So just let's try something. Hit the magnifying glass icon. All right.
Okay.
That shows you everything.
Okay.
So you can pick Dallas if you want to pick Dallas. It helps you remember it. And then go down and we don't want to apply any templates. We just want to bring it over there. So just hit done. Okay. See, we've magically added that row. Now if we want it
Okay.
now if we want it to stay there and not go away, what do we hit?
Stay there and not go away.
All right. We want it to
I'm
we
just repeating what you because my brain, I'm
okay.
trying to make sense of this because,
When you change your record, you need to save it.
oh yeah, just say save.
Well, I was just trying to spur you to think.
No, that was like saying, because I was thinking like in Photoshop, you can put a lock next to it so that you can't touch it or move it.
Oh, okay. Well, there's some aspects of that in Oracle. We'll
My
get
brain
to
is
them.
thinking broad, like no one can edit this, no one can touch this.
There's some aspects of security in Oracle, and we'll get into that later on. Okay, so what you did is fine. You've got the item enabled in Dallas, so now we can actually bring some stock into Dallas of this particular item.
Okay.
Also note you've got 4 tabs open up at the top in that upper left. No, not that
These.
far. Yeah, just make note that a lot of times when you're in the application, A lot of people think, well, I've only got one screen open. No, you've actually got 4 screens open, and you can move amongst them if you need to.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of people, they get the habit of, okay, I want to go to browse items, look up items, but then I want to go to manage items and do something else. So you can have both of those open. Now we have that other tab up there where we can go to supply chain execution. Yep. And now we're going to create a miscellaneous transaction. Yes. Now when it asks for the organization, what are you going to tell it?
Dallas.
Okay, but what was the number for Dallas? Very good.
005.
Very good. You're getting this.
Well, I put 3 zeros in it because that was what it was originally in.
I know. But again, I've got to get you to understand the concept of an inventory master organization, or an item master organization, I'm sorry, versus an inventory organization. They sound a lot alike, but they're very different. Item organizations are for items. Inventory organizations are for inventory and quantities and transactions. Okay. All right, so we're in miscellaneous transaction. So if you'll pull the drop down for type.
Okay.
We're going to do what's called an account alias receipt. Okay. Now remember the stars indicate which fields you have to enter?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to source and you look up the value using that search icon to the right. Oh,
that one?
No. That's the item. What we're going to look for here is the account alias.
Okay.
All right. So what did you do?
I clicked the search icon.
It doesn't look like there's any aliases. Okay. Click search. Let's just find if there's any. Oh, wow. There are no aliases in Dallas. All right. Well, we're going to create an alias later on, but I don't want to do it right now. So what we can do is go up to where it says type and click that drop down. And instead of doing account alias, we're just going to do a miscellaneous receipt. Okay. All right. Now leave the source blank and go to account and do a search. And
oh my lord, if you click this and then click it, it doesn't work.
Oh, stop clicking around. Okay.
That's ridiculous though.
All right, we know there's no aliases. So, and it's defaulted in a bunch of the combinations for us. So where it says account, let's do the drop down there and let's try to find something in that list.
I clicked it.
You did? Click it again. There we go. None of those look good. Hit search at the bottom. Click the advanced button. Where it says value starts with, pull the drop down list. Go down to is not blank. Same way with description. And now hit the search button. Because we set up the query to say is not blank, it's going to show us everything that's there.
Okay. All
right. So I'm looking for something that says like inventory or stock or something like that. I mean, we could use any account probably. Oh, inventory, material value. There you go. Click that one. And say okay. All right, so now you notice it filled in the account number over there. All right, so that's good. Now there's one thing else, one other asterisk. We got a required field. There you go. And just say yes. Right now there's no cost, but I always use yes here. Okay, now we're ready to tell the system what we want it to transact. So we've got to add a row to our transaction line. So now you get to put in the item you've been trying to put in for the last 10 minutes. And if you tab out of it, it should find that that item's valid. Okay, it is. And this is a quirk in Oracle that I don't know why this instance does this, but for some reason it hides the item.
It hides it and it doesn't give you a search button.
Yeah, I mean, the item's there. I think if you hover over that information and hit more.
I can't. I gotta hit this.
Yeah, it'll show you the item. The item's there. All right, hit done or X, it doesn't matter. All right, now we got to tell it what sub inventory it's going to go in. And usually I put stuff in stores. That's just the common stock area. And now how many of these do you want to put into stock?
2.
Okay. Okay, now you don't have to put in anything else. That's all you have to put in. But I want to show you, this form has a lot of other columns. You just don't see those columns.
Okay.
If you go over to the View drop-down to the left
You drop down. Okay.
and go to Columns and click on Show All. This is all the stuff that you could have put in, or if it given you the option to put in. Not everything is updatable here, but you'll notice there's your sub inventory, there's your quantity, there's your unit of measure. Remember when we were creating units of measure?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got conversions, you could actually use a conversion. For instance, if you go to that UOM name and pull the drop down to the left, UOM name. Okay, you could change this to packages or boxes or cartons if you wanted to, or you could leave it as eaches.
Okay.
Okay, now scroll over a bit more. There's a couple of other things that are on here that some clients like to use. For instance, they might want to put the requester in. The requester would be the person entering it, or the person that the material was going to go to, if it was going to go to a person. And there might also want you to put in a reason, and you've got some drop-down reasons there. They're not required. You don't have to put them in, but they're available there if you want to link that information to the record.
Okay.
So you're doing a stock adjustment. You might want to pick stock adjustment here. And the reference field is just a free-form text field. You can type anything in that field. And if for some reason you wanted to put an attachment in, you could add an attachment.
Okay.
So I'm noticing that record lots and serials button is lit up. So chances are this item might be a lot controlled item. And we could click on that button and find out, or there's another way we could find out. If you go up to the tab where you have Manage Items, the top, the very, very top, remember you've got a browser tab open. So if we wanted to find out if this was a lot controlled item, you'd go to specifications, and go to inventory down at the bottom there. And oh yeah, look at there. It's under full lot control. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a starting prefix and a starting number. So now that we know that information, we know we need to put in a lot number for the two that we're getting. So go back to your other tab and click the button on record lots and serial numbers. All right. So if you want the system to generate that lot for you, and you do, because it's got prefixes and specific lot numbers it wants to assign, then you're going to hit that generate single lot. Or if you do the drop down, yeah, you got to select a row.
There's no row.
Okay. Click cancel. Let's try this another way. Go to generate lot because you're highlighting the row there. So we're going to tell the system to generate a lot number. Hopefully it did it. Okay, so now go to edit details because you're not going to see the lot there. Yeah, down kind of to the left and lower, it generated that lot number for you. See?
Okay.
So this way, if you've got a lot controlled item, you can make the system kind of keep track of those lots for you. So
Okay.
if you worked in a like a drug company where all the pharmaceuticals have to have lots for traceability,
Mm-hmm.
then this is important. You need to know, that the system will generate those lots and how to set it up so that it will do
Okay.
that. All right, so say okay, and it should take you back. Okay, so we've put in everything we need to know, or quantity disappeared. That's probably because we hit the generate lot. So put the quantity in. All right. So I think we've got everything we need. Oh, now hit record lots and serial numbers. It lit back up. All right. So it actually put that in for you, but now it's showing you that it's there. So
Okay.
for that quantity of 2, we have that lot.
Do I click it?
And you don't have to now. It's already created it.
Okay.
So hit OK. All right. So now you've given the information to the system and everything should be there.
Okay.
All right. So we don't want to create another. Let's just do a submit.
Do I need to refresh this?
No, you don't need to do that. I know it looks like you do, but you don't. That's really a note to the, all right, so transaction process with no issues. So now we want to confirm that. So we know now that we created one lot for 2 items for that item. We should be able to see that in stock now. So if you
Okay.
go over to your task button and where it says manage item quantities, very top. Okay, remember your item number?
I don't, but it does.
Yeah, sometimes it'll, but this is a browser function. It'll retain some of this field data. If you ever refresh your browser or clear your cache, it'll go away. So now do your search.
I did it.
It didn't find anything.
Or
So did you do your search?
I know how to press enter on a keyboard because that's a normal function.
And that's not search.
God, this is like kid pics in the 90s.
Well, okay. It is what it is, but keeps you fed and housed. All right, so we've got that item there. We know where we put it, and we know that it's got a lot number. So if you use that arrow, you can kind of drill down through your inventory. And so it's in Dallas. It's in stores, and there's the lot. So we've got all that detail of that transaction that you just did.
Okay.
And if you click the view item availability, that'll bring up a dialog box and say basically that, hey, these are available to transact. There's no reservations against it. Nothing's stopping you from shipping this. So this would be available for a sales order to pick and ship.
Okay.
All right. Okay, one other thing I want to show you, and then we'll wrap it up. So hit
The other thing
done.
is if I had designed this, the search button would be next to the actual search bar.
Okay, I'll tell you what I tell all my clients. Oracle has an enhancement request form where if you want Oracle to change something, you can submit an enhancement request. And I can guarantee you they've probably got 40 or 50 requests to move that stupid button, but it's still where it
They're
is.
just gonna do it.
Well, I mean, they're a big company. They get a lot of enhancement requests that they have to, prioritize, and for whatever reason, hadn't done it yet. So there's probably a hotkey, and that's the other thing. If you wanted to take the time to learn the hotkeys, you could navigate a lot faster.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, they didn't really design this to work on a 32-inch screen. They designed it to work on a 12-inch screen. And so the search button isn't that far away. Okay, go to your task screen. Everything that you transact in Oracle is kept. It doesn't disappear, never goes away. So there's a thing down there that says review completed transactions. I mean, to be honest, I wish these were all square buttons.
Review.
Not just, it's up the middle somewhere there. Review completed transactions.
Okay. Those don't bother me. Failed connection.
Oh, just try again. Okay, so this is a search screen, and we're going to search on that transaction. We could put in the item, or, well, actually, we would have to put in the item. Okay, so there's the transaction that you did. And you clicked on the transaction, so that's going to bring up another screen. It's going to show you all the details of that transaction.
Okay.
Okay, and some of them can be important. You've got the transaction record number, you've got the transaction type, you've got the account code down there, you've got the reason code, stock adjustment. All of this goes into the database. And for a big company that wants to go back later and run reports and say, show me all the material that got adjusted out of inventory and had a reason of scrap or expired or spoilage or stuff like that, they could run a report and they could see that every month, so they kind of keep a tally of what things, how their business is doing. So that's why it's so important for Oracle to do all of this, to manage all of this, and to keep track of these transactions.
Okay.
And there's also a button up there that says view lots and serial numbers.
Click it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and there's the lot number. So Oracle maintains everything that you do. Nobody
Okay.
gets away with anything. I've always had clients tell me, well, the system messed up, or the system made a mistake, or something like that. And I go, no, the system did exactly what you told it to do. That's what it does, day in and day out. It does not make mistakes. Okay, so we'll call this done for today, I think.
Okay.
All right. We don't have to go a full hour every day. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to stop recording.